Ultravox was initially formed in the early 1970s under the name Tiger Lily. They later became known as Ultravox, before eventually dropping the exclamation mark and achieving greater fame. The band was founded by vocalist and songwriter Dennis Lee, who later changed his name to John Foxx. He began experimenting with synthesizers in the 1970s while on a scholarship at the Royal College of Art in London, where he formed his first band, Woolly Fish. From 1974 until 1979, the Lancastrian-born singer was the frontman and driving force behind both Tiger Lily and later Ultravox. The original lineup included Dennis Lee, Chris Allen on bass guitar, Stevie Shears on guitar, Warren Cann on drums, and Billy Currie on violin. The name Tiger Lily was suggested by drummer Warren Cann, as Foxx recalled in a 2016 interview with the Arts Desk. "We didn't have a name and I couldn't think of one. Warren had this decor from the 50s and a picture of a woman on the back of a tiger. That was a time when we had a name every week. The Zips, Fire of London. The Damned was one of them. We weren't gigging, so it didn't matter." In 1974, as a four-piece band without Billy Currie, Tiger Lily played their first gig in Chorley, Lancashire, hometown of Dennis Lee. The band was heavily influenced by the New York Dolls and dressed similarly. Their first notable show was at the Marquee, supporting the heavy metal kids. In 2008, Foxx told the Quietus, "We were all floating around London, forming and reforming bands and trying new things out. Then the New York Dolls arrived and galvanized the entire scene. Real glam trash. Beautiful. They proved it was possible to be trashy and good at the same time, kicked everyone into action at a desperate moment. They saved us all. At that moment, I was drawing lines into New York and the Velvets, European avant-garde and electronic music, previous generations' Brit psychedelia, plus a ragged sort of insulting glam. I guess this was the start of the New Wave. By the way, whoever coined that New Wave byline is my hero. Because a New Wave is precisely what it was, and precisely what was needed at that moment." As Tiger Lily, the group released one single in 1975, a cover of Fats Waller's Ain't Misbehavin'. In 1976, on the strength of their live performances, the band signed with Island Records. They had not finalized their name, but in July 1976, while working on their debut album, they settled on Ultravox. The interrobang referenced the krautrock band Neu and signified the new wave direction the band was heading towards. Coincidentally, Neu's Connie Plank went on to produce 3 of Ultravox's albums. In a conversation with the Arts Desk, Foxx recalled, "We dropped into Connie Plank's studio when we were touring Germany, as Brian Eno was there working on music for airports and also working with Holger Czukay. It was interesting to see how great Connie was. He had chairs with tubular legs around the room and was running tape loops around them. He took infinite pains and I thought, this is the guy. I was starstruck." At the same time as the name change, Dennis Lee adopted the name John Foxx and Alan became Chris Cross. In 1977, Island Records released their debut album, Ultravox. The album was produced by Brian Eno and Steve Lillywhite and included the single Dangerous Rhythm, released in February 1977, a song written when the band was still called Tiger Lily. The 1970s music paper Trouser Press wrote, "Ultravox marries the flamboyance of Posadorm to the cold minimalism of Kraftwerk with more than a touch of punk's roughness." The song My Sex featured a drum track by Phil Collins of Genesis. In a 1983 interview with John DiLiberto, Foxx told the electronics and music magazine Polyphony, "We used a Phil Collins bass drum on My Sex. It was on an old Eno track. I said we need a pulse and he said, 'Oh, I've got this old bass drum part by Phil Collins.' So we put that on and we did it. I hope he doesn't come back for the royalties." After their third album, Systems of Romance, Foxx left the band in March 1979 to pursue a solo career. Following his departure, Midge of the Rich Kids took over as lead singer, guitarist, and frontman in October 1979, after he and keyboardist Billy Currie had worked together in Visage. Speaking to Cryptic Rock in 2016, Midge recalled, "The Rich Kids was late 1977 to 1978 in the throes of the whole punk thing, and I started listening to music coming out of Europe. I wanted a synthesizer. I wanted to merge this new technology with traditional rock instrumentation. I bought a synthesizer and brought it into the Rich Kids, which instantly broke the band up. Half the band loved it and half the band hated it. Half the band who liked it went on to put the band together with all their favorite musicians, and that was Visage." That, of course, featured Billy Currie, the keyboard player with Ultravox, and during the recordings, I watched Ultravox fall apart and ended up joining the band, which was just fantastic. Between 1980 and 1986, Ultravox enjoyed their greatest success, scoring 7 top 10 albums and 17 top 40 singles in the UK. Their most successful single was their 1981 hit Vienna, which only managed to reach number 2, being kept off the top spot by the novelty record Shut Up You Face by Joe Dolce. At the time, Midge wrote the melodramatic ode to the Austrian capital. It was a place he'd never even visited, including during the infamous video which was filmed somewhere in London one gloomy morning. In 2016, told The Guardian, "A lot of what Ultravox did back in the day was sound bites. Vienna was a love song to an imaginary girl. You've gone to this beautiful place, met someone, and vowed it is going to continue, and of course it doesn't. Why Vienna?" There was a decaying elegance about it. In such a crumbling environment, you could easily fall in love. Then you go back to your cold, grey, miserable life in Chiswick. Over the ensuing years, Midge has moved in and out of the public eye. He has toured solo, and in April 2009, Can, Currie, and Cross reformed Ultravox for the Return to Eden tour to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the Vienna album and, in their own words, the anniversary of their classic lineup. In 2012, they released the critically acclaimed album Brilliant, whereafter Billy Currie left the band for good. After leaving Ultravox to pursue a solo career, John Foxx released albums such as Metamatic and The Garden, achieving commercial success with singles like Underpass, No One's Driving, and Europe After the Rain. In his various musical guises and collaborations, Foxx has released more than 50 albums over the course of his career and has inspired a plethora of both mainstream and underground alternative artists across the decades, from synth-pop godfather Gary Newman to more contemporary artists in the electro world, such as the techno duo Adult. In more recent times, Foxx has toured with his band, The Maths, supporting longtime friend and peer Gary Newman. In June 2014, Foxx was awarded an honorary doctorate of philosophy from Edge Hill University. On March 25, 2024, Chris Cross passed away. In his tribute, posted on social media, Ultravox frontman said, "We worked together, we played together, made music, and directed videos together. We were instant friends as well as Ultravox comrades. Even after years apart, we managed to pick up where we left off, like the years in between never existed. You were the glue that held the band together. You were the logic in the madness and the madness in our lives. It was great to know and grow with you. You are loved and missed, old friend." Keyboard player Billy Currie also paid tribute, writing on his Facebook page, "Hi people, very sad to hear about Chris. We had some amazing times together, laughing mostly."